I first heard about Steven Avery's case when my daughter Camelia told me about the documentary Making a Murderer. She said, "Mom, that it's right up your alley because I am a paralegal." And I watched the documentary and I concluded that he was set up. I felt that the state of Wisconsin saw Steven Avery as a disposable person. And at that time, I was in the middle of a divorce, and I identified with that because I kind of felt disposable myself. I wrote a letter that night, and a couple of weeks later, I was very surprised that he wrote me back. Within the first month, he was telling me he knew that he wanted me to be his wife. I was excited. He had singled me out. It made me feel special. He told me I was beautiful. We've been writing letters back and forth for approximately 8 months, and the first time I was able to go see him was September 15th of this year. When I first saw him, he looks like the sweetest little teddy bear I've ever seen in my life. It was just like magic. And he grabbed my hands and we sat at the table and we cried. Just a second. I was very attracted to him because I could tell how much he loved me. He was the whole package. This card he made for me, and on the inside he drew me this nice picture, and it says, "I just wanted to let you know that you're in my thoughts and in my heart." And I was touched by the innocent nature of it. Steven proposed to me on the morning of September 6th. Steven and I usually talk about 2 or 3 times a day. He'll wake me up and he'll say, "Good morning, Mrs. Avery." My nickname for him is Teddy Bear, my innocent teddy bear. Once Steven is exonerated, we do plan to take a trip up into the mountains and find a hotel and just relax. Steven will be walking out of prison and I'll be standing there waiting for him.
Well, okay. So, was the documentary the first time you'd ever heard about Steven and his story?
Yes.
Did you feel an instant connection to him, or was this something that built up across time?
I kind of felt an instant connection after watching the entire documentary.
Did you binge watch it?
Yes.
Like all at one time?
Several times.
Yeah, I watched it. I binge watched it. Like, I think Robert and I watched it over the weekend. So we watched it all across a couple of days.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you got to know him during that
did.
10 hours
I did.
that you watched it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when it was over, or any time during it, did you decide then that he was innocent?
Absolutely. By the time I was through watching it the first time, I absolutely felt like he was innocent.
Yeah. And obviously hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people
Yes,
did,
yes.
because petitions have been circulated
Right.
all around trying to get him out of prison. Why did you think he was innocent?
Because there were so many inconsistencies with regards to how the police conducted their investigations, the evidence that was not there.
And for people who don't know, I asked the audience just a few minutes ago how many had watched this, and about half of the audience said they had watched the documentary. And for people who don't know, Steven Avery had spent many years in prison convicted of a rape, only to find out that he had not done it at all, that he had been wrongly convicted.
Right.
He got out, he was exonerated from that, got out of prison, filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for the wrongful imprisonment, and while that lawsuit was pending, he got arrested and charged with, and then convicted of this murder.
Right.
And a lot of folks felt like that was a good way to dispose of this lawsuit
Yes.
against the county. A lot of people feel that was awfully convenient.